Hello, and welcome again to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, the Hope Project. My name is Emma, and I hope you're ready to continue with our series on daily living skills. This is lesson number 2, and it's all about brushing teeth. Now, this is a very important skill. However, it can have some complexities because some children on the autism spectrum may have quite a bit of oral motor sensitivities and may refuse anything to touch their mouth, much less go inside their mouth and brush their teeth. And then due to this, of course, some kids may already have cavities due to not having their teeth brushed, and so then it's painful, and even more, they will refuse to have their teeth brushed. And so a quick PSA for parents of newborns. Do brush your baby's gums with that little gum brush. This will not only keep it clean, but more importantly, build a tolerance to a toothbrush for the near future. And so there you have it. The first step to teaching brushing teeth is actually to build a tolerance to the toothbrush. And as we have mentioned before, we would always use a desensitization method, which means we very gradually build a child's tolerance to the toothbrush by breaking it down into very small successful steps. We would then pair each step with reinforcement and then ensure there is sufficient practice. We have done an entire series on building tolerance in the past, and the introductory lesson will be very helpful in order to understand the basics of building tolerance. And so, let's get to it. The purpose of this lesson is to teach our kiddos to independently brush their teeth, and we will need to remember a few key tips for this. Do go back to lesson 1 for the more detailed version of this. Firstly, does your child have sufficient prerequisite skills to learn this, especially as we just mentioned, tolerance to the toothbrush, but additionally, overall flexibility and cooperation, the ability to follow instructions, the ability to imitate, as well as sufficient motor skills coordination to hold the toothbrush and move it accordingly. If you're finding that this is difficult, then it's best to go back and strengthen those foundational skills first. Secondly, to identify the specific steps for each daily living skill. When it comes to brushing teeth, we are looking at least 25 steps. Take toothbrush, put the toothpaste, put water on the toothbrush, brush closed front teeth up and down for 5 seconds, brush closed right side of teeth up and down for up to 5 seconds, brush closed left side of teeth up and down for up to 5 seconds, open mouth and brush the bottom of the left side of teeth, open mouth and brush bottom of right side of teeth, open mouth and brush top of the left side of the teeth, open mouth and brush top of the right side of teeth, open mouth and brush tongue, turn the tap on, pour water into a cup, turn the tap off, take the water into mouth, gargle, spit, turn the tap on, rinse the cup and toothbrush, put the toothbrush in the cup, put hand under the tap, wash mouth, rinse hands, turn the tap off, and wipe mouth with a towel. And last but not very least, prepare the materials needed, especially materials that will help to teach your child visuals to prompt and most importantly, to reinforce. In this case, you will definitely need a toothbrush, toothpaste, cup, and a towel, as well as an available sink and a step stool if needed, as well as visuals for the prompting, social stories, video models, and visual schedules, and appropriate rewards, perhaps not sweets, if you get what I mean. You just brush your teeth, right? So yeah, never mind. An additional material you may want to consider is an electric toothbrush. Although this tool will help your child to thoroughly clean their teeth, it may come with another challenge, tolerating the sound and the vibration of the toothbrush inside their mouth. If your child is more successful at building independence in the brushing teeth routine using the normal toothbrush, then we would recommend proceeding with it. In the future, should you want to teach your child to learn to use the electric toothbrush, you can help break it down for your child and teach. Now let's get your child to be independent in brushing their teeth by first breaking down the skill. To do this, we would typically implement the backward chaining teaching method. This means every time your child brushes their teeth, you will need to prompt them through the entire routine from the first step onwards. Your child's independence will first be targeted at the final step of the routine, which in this case is wiping their mouth with a towel. If they're able to do this step independently across perhaps 3 days, minimum twice a day, you can then add on an additional step for them to do independently. So this means that now your child will need to demonstrate independence in the final 2 steps, turning the tap off and wiping their mouth with a towel. And when success is observed across 3 days, 2 practices a day, you may then add on a step for your child to demonstrate independence in. This teaching method continues on until your child has eventually learned to do all 25 steps independently. In terms of prompting, You may consider the use of a video model for each step of the routine if that would help your child best. As for the visuals, you may choose to either remove the visual of every step once your child has completed it, or to mark each step with a star to indicate that it's done. Whichever it is, decide which is best for your child. In terms of the frequency of practices, you could do it a minimum twice a day after waking up and before bedtime. Although you could do an additional round of practice after a meal, perhaps after lunchtime. You could make it more fun and less stressful by singing the "This is the way I brush my teeth" rhyme. As for practicing the routine, the flow we would typically follow is first to read the social story and watch the video model together with your child. Then bring your child to the sink. Have the visual scheduled ready with pictures of each step and labeled numbers according to the accurate sequence. The next step is to encourage imitation with your child. Go through each picture while demonstrating the action. When they do imitate, reinforce them with verbal praise or through tokens on each picture on the routine schedule. If your child is able to do the steps without imitation, you could follow through the steps by merely pointing to the routine visual schedule. If they perform well, reward them and give them the verbal feedback. If they're able to do it but with some prompting, still reward their effort. After the routine, reward the child according to the level of their performance. And so that's it. As parents, you may be thinking already of that dreaded trip to the dentist, and so do check out our previous video in our community series on going to the dentist. We hope that will help you prepare your child for a successful trip. Now it's your turn. Firstly, identify if your child is able to start learning the brushing teeth routine already, or will they need to go through building their tolerance to the toothbrush first. If they do need to build the tolerance first, you could do that through these steps. Child tolerates seeing toothbrush on this table. Child tolerates touching and playing with the toothbrush. Child tolerates the toothbrush on his cheeks. Child tolerates the toothbrush on his chin. Tolerating the toothbrush on his upper area of his lips. Tolerating the toothbrush on their lips. Tolerating the toothbrush on his front teeth. Tolerating the toothbrush in his mouth. Tolerating the toothbrush being scrubbed on the teeth. Prepare your materials: a social story, video model, visual schedule, and rewards, as well as toothpaste, cup, face towel, and the toothbrush, and then begin the practices. Well, that's it for our lesson on daily living skills with the brushing teeth routine. In the next lesson, we'll be talking all about gargling and spitting. Do stay tuned. Thank you very much for your support, and with the amount of interest we have received online, we have actually started providing online services and have worked over the years with clients in other states of Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, China, Kuwait, New Zealand, and Switzerland. Get in touch with us for more information by scanning this QR code. If you haven't already, do check out our online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the lesson videos, corresponding articles, and downloadables available for you for free. And stay updated through our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Do click on the subscribe and follow buttons to get more information. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you very soon.